Hello everyone and welcome to Vanagon livestream. It's been a while, guys. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We had a great Thanksgiving with our family, my dad and my sister, my wife, and all those guys. And it's good to see Jackbox on here on the chat with us today. Also Steve DeRuiter, good to see him as well. It's been a while since we did this. And I just wanted to, come on, show you guys a few new items we have. If you guys have any questions about anything, we'll be glad to help people out that way. And then just talk about, general Volkswagen stuff and things if you want. I've been kind of busy the last couple weeks, right before Thanksgiving. My daughter had a car accident in her 2015 new Beetle, which she had just gotten about maybe 2 months before that. So I have been kind of tied up with the aftermath of that for the last week, and I will tell you the high points and the low points. So with the high points, I want to say thanks a lot to Progressive Insurance, because I had the car insured with them for full coverage, and I also had like the thing where you get a free rental car, and they went ahead and as soon as the accident happened, the next day I had a rental car here because my daughter was working, so she had a rental car she could use to get back and forth to work. And then they took the car to a special lot where they can evaluate it. The airbag was deployed, so that's basically nowadays it's automatically totaled usually. And it didn't really look like in that bad a shape to me. I was thinking about, I could fix it or I could buy it as a parts car or something. But a couple of days later, it was over the holidays. So this happened the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That Friday, like I said, we had the rental car. She was using it for work. And then I think we went up and got her stuff out of the car because they said if we total it, that's the last time you're going to see the car. So we went up to the junkyard, to the wrecker yard, whatever we call it, got the car, brought her stuff back. I told her to say goodbye to the car, kiss the car goodbye. So she did. Thankfully, she was not injured barely at all. So the way I told her, she loved that car. It was beautiful, bright red, 2015 new Beetle. She loved it. I loved it. It was a turbo. It was nice. Okay. But I told her, I said, listen, this car, think of this car as a faithful animal or a faithful friend. It gave its life for you so that you can be okay and you can live. I mean, she got a little scratch on her hand right here, and this is my daughter that used to be on our live streams with me. She had a little scratch on her hand. She got her knee got a little bump on it, and that was it. Okay, so thankfully, praise the Lord, she is fine. The car got totaled, sadly. So I was expecting a fight with the insurance company over the value of the car, because the car's value, I paid about $10,000 for the car, then another $1,000 for taxes and blah blah fees and all stuff when we bought it. So $11,000 basically. And I was looking around trying to find something comparable to replace it with, and the prices were about the same. The bad part is Kelley Blue Book is saying, hey, that's high. Okay, that's a lot. So I found another one, a 2012 that had only 30,000 miles at a local Volkswagen dealership, and it was $10,500. So at just a couple days, Progressive totaled the car. The guy who totaled the car out called me. He said they're going to total the car. They're going to give you $10,500. Okay, so I was ready to fight. I was ready to hey, the car's, you're going to give me $5,000 and I need, this. And I didn't have to fight. They just gave me exactly pretty much what I needed. I mean, we kind of went in the hole because we still had to pay insurance and stuff again. Or not insurance, the sales tax, state sales tax, and blah, blah, blah. But, so we got another new Beetle. This one is also exact same color, red, bright red. This is a 2012, okay, but it only has 33,000 miles on it. I had the Carfax. It's never been an accident. It's never had anything majorly go wrong with it. The dealer actually did some service bulletin stuff and recall stuff while it was there at the dealership. It's got brand new tires on it. And looking at it on the outside, looking at it on the inside, it looks like a brand new car. I don't know. It had 2 owners before us. It must have been old people or something. And then it got sold at an auto auction. And I mean, this car is basically like a mint car. Why? They had it at a Alfa Romeo dealership or something in Pennsylvania, and they couldn't sell it. I'm like, wow, okay. I don't know who's up there trying to buy stuff, but... So, you know, this is what happened, and we drove the car back last night. Now, this one is not a turbo. This is a 2.5, so it's a 5-cylinder. But I got to drive it today a little bit, and to me, I don't really feel a whole lot of difference in power between the 2.0, that had a 2.0 turbo, and the 5-cylinder 2.5. Both very responsive, and you know, I'm hoping, I've read a lot about the 2.5. It's supposed to be pretty much bulletproof. I mean, some people are saying they've gotten 200,000 miles with really no major issues or problems. So that's the result. So I had a really great result with Progressive Insurance. I highly recommend them. I've used them. I've recommended them to people when you have a Vanagon, and if it's a Westie, you can get full coverage RV insurance from them for like around $300 something a year, and that's I'm in New Jersey, and a lot of people use their Westie as an RV, and so that's great. I've had a claim on that before where we had it on my RV and I ripped the awning off the side and damaged the side, damaged the roof. They gave us $7,000 to repair it. I mean, that was great. So, you know, if you guys are looking for car insurance, I highly recommend Progressive. I also have, you know, through them, you can have a car, like a roadside assistance as well. And again, if you have a Vanagon, I mean, you definitely want a roadside assistance. Okay, so through them, you get it. I've used that before with them, and it works amazing. Like, they will be there in 30 minutes and do whatever. Jump the car, give you, you know, air in your tire, tow the car, whatever you need done. Okay, so it's just as good as AAA or whatever, except it's actually a lot cheaper because you're buying it through Progressive, your car insurance people. So if you go through that and you know, want to check that box, I would definitely get the car rental thing and also the roadside assistance, because both of them things are worth it. Okay, they're worth the small amount of money you're going to pay for them. And the Progressive agents are real nice. The only slight downside thing was I wanted to get, after they total the car, they give you 3 days to replace the car. You know, they're going to give you 3 more days with the rental car. So they can give you up to, like, I think a month or something with the rental car, depending on how long it's going to take to repair the car. But they're like, after we total it, you get 3 more days with the rental car. So I'm like, well, I need to, you know, get this all lined up. I needed to get the money from the insurance company so I could buy the car from the Volkswagen dealership. The closest office for Progressive is an hour and 15 minutes away. So the last several days I've just been driving. Like, I drove up there, got the check, left, came back, and then I think the next day, so I put it in the bank, and then the next day it was in the bank, went to the Volkswagen dealership, paid for the car, drove the car home. The Volkswagen dealership was like 45 minutes away, so yeah. I mean, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's no VW dealerships around here that is less than 45 minutes. So, I mean, we have, like, I think there's 3 that's in our general area that each one is like 45 minutes from here. So, we're in some kind of 45 minutes Volkswagen dealership nexus hole here or something. So anyway, so that's what happened with my daughter's car. Like I said, thankfully she is fine. She now has a beautiful, even nicer, this is a 2012 super, you know, new Beetle, like bright red. Interior is like mint condition. And yeah, I'm in a VW void here. Yes, it's like a VW black hole here for some reason. They all get sucked here to me, so maybe I should start my own dealership. But so she has an even nicer car than she had before. She's fine. Everything is about wrapped up. The only now she has to possibly take some defensive driving courses because she's going to get some points on her license. But I was looking into that last night. So that's what's been happening with me. I've been rushing all over the place, rushing all around. I just put a thing on our voicemail, and I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about this idea. So right now, it's getting ready to be Christmas time. Okay, I understand people are worried about that. They're worried about Christmas presents, shopping for Christmas presents and all this other stuff. And and the weather's kind of crappy, so a lot of people aren't actually working on their Vanagons. Okay, I understand. And so what happens is I get some orders through the website, which is great. Actually, I get most of them through there. I come in the morning, I do them, it only takes me like an hour, okay? And then I can sit here the whole entire rest of the day and wait for the phone to ring. I might have 4 calls, okay? I might have 4 calls. Probably 2 of them calls is people calling me to say, hey, I just found out about you, and I like you, and you're nice, and all this other stuff. And that's fine, okay? And then the other 2, one of them's probably going to be somebody who bought something like 4 months ago and needs to return it or wants to send me a core back or something. That's fine. And then I'll have one other person that calls that actually wants to buy something. But then a lot of times they'll say, okay, I'm going to buy it after the holidays. So, what I did today, I put on my voicemail that to leave a message that I'm not actually going to be picking up the phone until after New Year's. Okay? And I put my email address on the voicemail. I definitely will respond to emails. If you message me through the website, like there's that little chat thing down in the corner, I will message you right back. I'm good about that. It's just hard for me to be like sitting here all day waiting for the phone to ring. And, because I could be doing other stuff. Like, I'm actually trying to write a book right now. I'm trying to write my Vanagon Adventures book from all these years of working on vans for people and all the adventures and things I've had. I'm trying to write a book like that. I'm trying to, brainstorm and get some new ideas for items and things we can sell and things we can do here. And it's just hard. I love to talk to people on the phone. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm trying to organize my time so I'm not like chained here, just sitting here waiting for... I'll sit here and watch YouTube videos. And that'll give me ideas and things, but it's not really super good use of my time. I could be doing something else. Since I've got all my orders caught up, and I'll have orders come in through the day, like a couple web store orders will trickle in and things like that. But, it's just a slow time for me. So let me know, what do you guys think? Am I a horrible person because I'm not just sitting here like all day looking at my phone going, ring, 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 right? Or, yeah, am I a terrible person? I want to be here for people. I want to help people out. But they're busy doing stuff. They're busy doing everything else right now. So it's hard for me to justify it. But anyway. Alright, so now you've all hung up on me because I'm a terrible human. Alright, so let me know what you think about that. Now, I'm going to show you some of these items here. You might want them. I don't know. You probably don't. You might not want it. Why would you want a nice, fluffy pillow that just happens to have a Vanagon, a Synchro, look, it even has the gas filler back here, a Synchro Vanagon with a surfboard on the top on a pillow. And you can, oh, it's so squishy. You can put it in your van, you could put it in your house, you could put it on your couchy poo, you could put it on your beddy poo, maybe, decor. You could buy it for your friend who has a Synchro Westie. You could buy it for yourself because you always wanted one, so here you go. Now you have one. We have these on the website, okay? If you want to take a look, they're on there. And they come with foam thing inside, okay? Made in the USA, okay? Made in the USA. Foam. Not sure what that does. There's probably some law about foam inside pillows or something. Because all the pillows I got, okay, the covers are made elsewhere, but when I ordered the foam, it's all made in the USA. And you can't get a pillow with the actual stuffing in it. So, yeah, there's probably some like a law about that or something weird. Like, you know how you get a mattress in your house and it has that weird tag that says don't cut it off because then you go to jail? Yeah, how many people has ever been to jail for that? I don't think a whole lot. So we've actually only got a couple of these. So if you want one of these, you have to buy it and just hope you get one of, I think, 2 that I have at the moment. We also have some other stuff, and so these are kind of like a linen, okay? Slightly, not super soft, but linen, decent, nice, okay? We've also got about 3 of these, I think. So this is like a lemon yellow bus, okay? It's really nice, pretty. And again, this could just be for your house. You want people, you like vans, Volkswagen vans or something? You just put it in your house, and people come over, they're like, oh, wow, look at that. That's nice, okay? Here's a nice green one, okay? I'm trying to get it in the picture. It's got surfboards on the top, okay? Again, you can... I bought these because I thought, you know what? Christmas presents. Okay, this is what I thought. Christmas presents. People might buy these Christmas presents for you. You could tell them about it. Hey, I really like these cool pillow things on Vanagon. Buy me one. Okay? Or you buy it and you give it to a friend of yours that says, I really like your van. Oh, it's so nice. And I would love to have one. Say, here, you got one. Boom. Here's your van. Or, they're hoping to get one in the future. And you could say, hey, you can have that. Okay? Also got this one. Okay? This one is actually one of my favorite ones. So this is a split window bus. It doesn't have a logo on the front, but you know how that goes. That's a headlight. Here's a logo. Having the logo on the front, Volkswagen gets cranky about it, so whatever. Okay, but here's another one. Now this one, these are all one-sided. This one is double-sided. Okay, so you got on both sides. And again, this one is actually nice and softer. Feels, really squishy. I have about 10 of these. Okay, so the first 3, I've got like 3 of each. And I think I've actually sold 2 of the Synchro ones, so maybe I only have 1 of them left. I have to get some more, but I'm not going to get any more until after Christmas. Okay, I ordered all these like a while ago, and it took like a month to get them. It's so ridiculous. I don't know why. So we got these here. Okay, they're nice. Let me see what else. Got 2 more. Okay, and I just figured you guys would appreciate this stuff. You might not. You're like, pillows. That's just lame. Alright, I'm getting stacked up here. We got this one. Okay. Another split window bus. It's got a, surfboard on the roof. Okay, so if you know a surfer person that might want something like this. These are kind of interesting because when you get it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's actually got, like, the picture is partially made out of words that is backwards and things. So yeah, but it's interesting. So this is another one, split window bus, like a red one with some, I don't know, peace doves over here and like a sunshine or something coming out. All right, do we have any more? The weird part is I thought I had one that actually did have the Volkswagen logo on it. Is that this one? Nope. I don't know. Maybe I thought there was one more. All right, we got this last one here, which I tried to get. I had a girl here that had a bus that actually looked almost exactly like this. I tried to get her interested in it. I'm like, hey, check out this van. It's got this pillow. It's got like your bus on the back with all these surfboards on the top, and it's like in, Hawaii or something. And she was like, yeah, that looks great. Bye. So maybe I should have took that as a hint. All right, we got this one. Again, this is another really nice soft one. Feels nice. But it's got this cool picture, Volkswagen bus with like a whole bunch of surfboards. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and some palm trees. So, you know, you can kind of dream on that a little bit. Like, oh, I want to go surfing, but it's cold outside, so I'll cuddle up to this nice pillow. So, I mean, that's it on the pillows scene. I just wanted to share that with you guys, see what your thoughts are. I mean, if people don't really buy them that much, then I'll just, you know, not get them again, that's all. It was an idea I had, brainstorming. Sometimes you brainstorm and it's just a small shower. Alright, I want to show you something cool that I saw today that you guys probably would be interested in. I'm going to switch to the computer. So I was on Jay Leno's Garage. I was watching it earlier today. And he had this really cool Volkswagen bus on there that this guy brought on. At first, I thought it was going to be a Brazilian bus because it kind of looks like it in the front, but it's actually not. It's a V. Let me mute it in case. Okay, it's blasting you guys out. It's actually a V8, like a Buick engine, and then he's got, like, here in the front, that's where the radiator is. It's kind of cut out here, and they blacked it out. And I mean, this guy is really famous. He is designed. He worked for, like, I guess, Carroll Shelby back in the day and designed a bunch of, like, the Corvette Stingray and all this other stuff. So when you get a chance, take a look. It's called Peter Brock's Hang Glider Transporter VW Bus on Jay Leno's Garage. I mean, that bus is pretty amazing. It flies down the road like crazy. And he talks about they used it for doing hang gliders of all things. All right, so I'm switching back. They use it for hang glider stuff. Like they would chase these hang gliders, and it was pretty cool. Okay, it was pretty cool. So, all right. So Jack Bach wants to know, why is it when you own a Vanagon, everyone insists on buying splitty stuff like mugs, egg cups, etc. I mean, I would say the real reason is because, number one, that's what's out there for the most part. Like the split window bus, you have to admit, has a certain aesthetically pleasing. Okay, it's aesthetically pleasing. It's something that people look at it and they go, "Wow, you know, it looks like a piece of art. It looks like something that," and it has also in the culture too about, you know, how it's from the '60s. It's like the hippies and all that stuff. So I would say that's why Jackbox. So when an artist or somebody like that would make a piece of art, you know, they gravitate towards the split window bus for the looks of it and that kind of thing. And then that art is what winds up big on, you know, the mugs, the egg cups, and all that kind of stuff that's out there. I mean, there's very few things out there. Like, I was super shocked to find this pillow actually has a Vanagon on it instead of some kind of a bus. Okay, because you can see I've gotten a bunch of ones with buses on them. That was the only one I could find with a Vanagon on it. Now, I have tons and tons of pictures of Vanagons that are like really super beautiful, amazing Vanagons. And I could turn them into a pillow or something. You know, I could send that picture to a company that would put it on a pillow and make it into, some kind of something I could sell. But that would be extremely expensive. I mean, these are expensive as it is, and if I had something custom, then it'd be even worse. Yeah, I know. A lot of people think they want a split window bus, but I will tell you that they don't. Okay, I have restored them myself. I have driven them, and the way I try to describe it to people is, it is basically a big golf cart. Okay, it is a golf cart, you know, and they look nice. People, when you drive one, you get a really happy feeling inside because every place you go, people are waving at you, they're smiling, they're giving you, you know, the peace symbols. and all that stuff. And it just makes people's day. You drive up in this thing, get out, people are talking to you about their, grandpop had this, and he, all the memories and things. And, it's fun. It's a fun vehicle that way. Actually driving it kind of stinks. It just kind of stinks. And people expect it to be as much fun to drive as it is the rest of the experience. The aesthetics and all that stuff. Now, you could take one and you could try to make it more modern. We had one here that a very wealthy man called me and said, I need one of these. I'm a hippie from the 60s, okay? Well, his actual address was Park Avenue in New York. So he was very wealthy. Money was no object. So I talked to him about this. I said, listen, this is basically a golf cart. And he's like, that's fine. He's like, it's going to go to my private island in the Caribbean, and the speed limit is 35 there anyway, so, golf carts is usually what we drive there, so it's no problem. So I'm like, okay. And so we did that restoration for him. When he came to look at it, he was driving a brand new AMG Mercedes, with his own personal mechanic was with him. Drove it down the street, drove it back, said, can it have disc brakes? I said, yeah, I can do that. Because I had looked and saw kits available for that. I said, yes, that's very possible. Then he says, can it have air conditioning? I said, okay, I'll look into it. And, before he came to pick it up, we put air conditioning in it. We put disc brakes in it. It was a lot more, felt more safer and things. So, you can do stuff. I know, again, like I showed you that Jay Leno garage split or bread loaf bus with the V8 engine in it, or V6 or whatever. I mean, you could possibly do some kind of conversion on it to make it more powerful that way. But like you're saying, Jackbox, you have a car that is, in the East Coast area, it's like a giant Alka-Seltzer Plus. It is going to rust like crazy. If you drive it in the winter at all, if you store it outside at all, it's going to rust like crazy. Yeah. So you have to really be, committed to keeping it inside, keeping it, non in the salt and all that stuff and things. It limits what you can do with it. And so, it becomes more like a toy than an actual car. Now, a Vanagon is a lot different to me because, you can treat a Vanagon like that if you want. It'll probably hold up better and last longer. But you can also use it as a day-to-day car, and, it's more like the best of both worlds. You have the old school engine in the back, quirky looking thing from the 80s. But also, it's got enough power to keep up with traffic, and it's got power steering, and it's got, you can have power windows, power door locks, all that stuff that you want without it being a big deal. You can put in a stereo without cutting the dashboard with a chisel. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've carried everything in mine. I bought my wife an electronic piano, which probably weighs like 400 pounds, and the box is humongous. You could use the box as like a casket for somebody if you wanted to. It was huge. And I pulled up to the front door of the music store where they were selling this thing, and the guy had it on one of those carts, and I'm like, yeah, just put it right in the van. It's like, slid it right in the door, shut the door, boom, drove home. I mean, it was like zero effort. If I had had anything else, like a pickup truck or anything, it would have been harder to get it in than the Vanagon. And, and like you're saying, I mean, I remember when I first started, we took a trip. I had I saw a thing on Dworkin's Demented Bus Bits. Okay, anybody remember that? Nope. Demented Dworkin's Bus Bits. It was the precursor to the Samba, I think. And it was a place where people would, put on there, hey, I have this parts, I have that parts for buses and Vanagons and that kind of thing. And so I went on there one time, Demented Dworkins, okay. And oh yeah, I've used that before. 4x8 sheets of plywood, 4x8 sheets of sheetrock. I went on there, found there was a guy on there that said, "Hey, I have an entire basement full of bus parts that I need to get rid of." Okay, and I'm up in Boston, Massachusetts. So I had this old 85 passenger Vanagon. We drove up there in a blizzard, and it just happened to be a blizzard. Got up there, met this guy, nice guy. He had an entire basement that was halfway full of bus parts. Some of it was split window bus parts. Some of it was, a lot of it was bay window. And we just filled that whole entire interior of that van up with that stuff. Drove home in the blizzard aftermath. And it really didn't ride any different than on the way up than it did on the way back. I mean, maybe a little bit slower, less power because it had all that weight. But as far as handling and all that other stuff, I mean, we were driving along. Remember, we were driving along in the blizzard. I'm going about 40 miles an hour because I'm trying to not die. And this guy drove past us going 60 in like one of those, you know, like an SUV thing, probably one of the bigger ones, okay? And he just flies by because I got four-wheel drive, boy. Oh, boy. And about 5 minutes later, I'm still going, and here he is spun out on the side of the road, headlights facing back towards us, and I'm like, bye, and I just kept on going. That was a Suburban, I think. So, you know, that's how nice I am. I always rejoice when other people, you know, meet their stupidity. Okay. But anyway. All right, so I'm trying to think anything else going on right now. So, you know, we're getting ready for Christmas. Christmas presents. Oh, I did do something. I sent an email out to let you guys know. We added a thing onto the website. When you buy stuff from now until Christmas, you know, you normally, if you're logged in as a member on the site, you get 10% back in points. So we have a point system on the site. And it's kind of like, you know, Vanagon Bucks or something like that, whatever you want to say. So normally when you buy something, you're a logged in member, you buy something, you get 5% back in points. Okay? And you can apply that to a future order. But between Thanksgiving and Christmas, if you buy something through the website, you're going to get 10%. Okay? You're going to get 10%. So in other words, I'm trying to encourage people to use the website to buy stuff right now. If you buy, you know, a big order, you're going to get 10%. And I haven't limited it to anything. So, you know, a lot of other sites, if they have a sale 10% off, they're going to limit it and say 10% off except not this and not this and not this. All the stuff you want. Okay? All the stuff you would want. Yeah. Somebody says 4x8 sheets of plywood, 20-foot lengths of copper tube. Okay, well, I mean, I have some PVC tubing in my van right now because I had to do some work, but it's only 10 foot long. It fits. 20 foot, I'm not sure how that would work. You'd have to, like, shoot it out the window or something. And then be careful about people. Yeah, bricks, concrete blocks, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I mean, we did all that stuff. My dad used to have the Volkswagen Caddy diesel, right? 1.6 dog slow diesel pickup truck. And I remember one time we drove up to Home Depot, filled up the entire back with bags of cement. The whole truck was going like this. And we drove all the way back. Then it did it. It didn't hurt it or nothing. The whole thing was, the whole, you know, suspension in the back was bottomed out, but I don't even know how much weight that was. It was crazy. But it did it. And I did the same thing with Vanagons. Loaded them all up. I mean, the German military would use them to, you know, transport anything. So they're great that way. Alright, so I'm trying to think of anything else going on. I have some body panels that I kind of would like to get rid of, to be honest. So I got this nice one here. I'll show you this real nice one I got. So normally when you deal with this panel, so this is like the rocker panel, okay? Let me see if I can hold it up so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is like the rocker panel that goes on the side of the van. Normally when you deal with this rocker panel, you're dealing with like a facade of something that just looks like this, okay? But on the back side, there's nothing to it. It's basically like a shell, and this seam is like printed onto most of the repair panels. This particular panel, it's made by a company in the UK, and you can see it is trying to be, it pretty much is, like a pretty faithful reproduction of the original panel. It actually has this lower rocker as a separate piece that is welded to this upper section, okay? And it's really well made. I got it here for a friend of mine that was repairing his Doka, and then he wound up not using it. So I think it's on the site. I'm pretty sure I have it on there. That might be something that you're interested in, or if you are interested in. I only have one. I could get more eventually, but normally, like I said, the ones I normally carry are just, you know, it's thinner metal on them, and it's also just a picture of this, okay? Not a real, like this. This is more like a faithful reproduction of what you would originally have. So if you care about that, you could get this one. What else? Oh, we do have about, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have about probably 3 of these headlight sets left we could sell before Christmas. Okay, so if anybody is interested in the square headlight kit, okay, which we've talked about on here lots and lots of times before, that you can actually have square headlights. You don't have to have a South African headlight kit, which they're actually being discontinued if you didn't know that. Okay. You can get these square headlight kits that we have. You can actually be able to see at night, which again, this is a great time of year to buy something like this because it gets dark early, and you know, you're driving around at night a lot. So, you know, these kits here, brand new lights, brand new retainer, brand new mounts, comes with LED bulbs that are going to basically make you be able to see, you know, really well at night. And it's $4.50 for a set. If your old lights, you know, they're brand new, so all this stuff is new. The reflectors are new, the lights are new, they're beautiful. If your old lights are okay, like they're not broken, they're not destroyed or whatever, you can sell each light, each individual lens, for $100 a piece on the Samba, and they will go like that. Okay? So say you bought this set, and you have your old lights, your DOT lights, these are H4s by the way. You could, realistically, if they're decent, all they have to do is not be broken, not, you know, have good decent reflectors. You could sell them for $400, okay, very easily. And this is $4.50. So you do the math, okay. Now you've got it, and you only have $50 invested, okay. And these lights are superior, man, to the original lights because these are H4s, which is what they call the E code, okay? And yeah, it just puts the light on the road where you want it instead of diffusing it. The DOT lights diffuse light, so you can't really see good at night. That's kind of what they were designed to do, to be honest. They were worried about, you know, blinding oncoming traffic, which I understand that, you know, is bad. But I would say, to me, as the driver, I think it's bad if I can't see where I'm going at night. I want to see where I'm going. Alright, I can't shut this box right now because it's being difficult. I want to see where I'm going. And that's just me being selfish, I guess. But it's, you know, these things are great. The other thing that you have to understand, okay, is that for years and years and years, people were... Okay. Oh, okay. For years and years and years, people were switching from the square headlights to the South African lights because you could buy that grill. You could get an H4 round light, and you could get more light on the road. Okay. Now the South African grills are being discontinued. Okay. So if you can find one out there, which I think they're all gone at this point. If you can find one out there, great. But they're being discontinued. So in the future, if you want to get something that's going to give you more light on the road, it's going to be these. Okay, but the nice part is, if you already have a square headlight grill, you don't have to replace it. You just pop these things on. It takes about 20 minutes to install it, and you're back on the road. Okay, so I got a guy, Band Campers Gaming, says, can you please make some videos on fixing the 2.0 liter air-cooled engines on early Vanagons? I have an 82 and I can't find any information on it. Okay. I mean, I actually have a 2.0 liter engine on a stand out in the shop. I was going to do another, like, engine video with that. Okay, so, okay, yeah, we can share that. There you go. Yeah, Steve is inviting you to his group. I was going to do a video on that where you kind of show the engine, you talk about the history of it, you talk about like how it's put together and the pluses and minuses. So, you know, that hopefully I'll be doing that video in the next couple weeks. I mean, we've been doing good with our YouTube channel. We've been increasing our viewers. We've been increasing how much people are viewing the videos. The last two videos I did were very, very generic, but they're getting lots of views. The one about the Vanagon engine bay, 2.1 engine bay, and also the different models of Vanagon. So I'm going to try to keep doing stuff like that, like, you know, more generic type videos where it's kind of like Vanagon 101. You're teaching people stuff. So Band Campers Gaming, I will try to do that. Like I said, we're going to try to do just an overview of that engine, so people kind of know what's going on with it and make it a little bit more, a little less scary than what it is now. Because now there is a website I can recommend too, which is called Ratwell. I don't know if you've ever heard of Ratwell, and it's not specifically for the Vanagon, but it's for the bus. And it has lots and lots and lots of information on the air-cooled engine that is the same. Okay, it's virtually the same engine between the bus and the Vanagon. Very little difference. Okay, so get a chance, look on ratwell.com. Anytime I'm working on a bus, I open that website up on my computer out in the shop and look up everything, and that website is amazing. Okie doke. Alright, so yeah, thanks for all you guys, you know, stuffing things. Jackbox, I'm not sure if Schofield is who's making those panels. I think that's who it is. I think that's who it is. It's a really nicely made panel. I have some other panels that are similar. You can kind of tell them because they're not painted. Like that one's not painted. It's just bare steel. Usually the aftermarket, you know, repair panels are from Denmark, and they're usually painted so they don't rust, which, I mean, that's good. But yeah, the Schofield ones, I think they're thicker metal. The quality level seems to be higher. They seem like they're more like handmade versus machine made or stamped out like the other ones. So yeah, they're nice. Alright, Band Campers Gaming says, oh cool, I've been trying to solve an issue with my Vanagon. It hasn't been running for 19 years. Finally got it running, but only if I keep revving the gas. Okay. Yeah, yep. I mean, it's... Yeah, okay, if you're gonna... Yeah, there's lots of stuff that could be. I mean, I had one on the early Vanagons and on some of the buses. Okay, they had a thing where inside the airflow meter, okay, there is a switch that when the car is running, okay, you're getting this air coming through the airflow meter, and it's actually making the switch. It's closing the switch that turns on the fuel pump. Okay, so if you have a big vacuum leak, the engine will just die and shut off. Now, if you hold your foot on the gas while you're cranking it or whatever, and it runs, okay, then it could be that, hey, now you've got enough vacuum to keep that vane thing inside the airflow meter, pulled over, and it's keeping the fuel pump turned on. But I had one where there was actually a missing fuel injection seal. Like, I think what happened was it just dry rotted and just like crumbled out of there. But on the ends of the fuel injectors, there are these little rubber seals that go into the intake, and one of them was missing. Okay, and so that guy, we would start it. As long as you hold your foot on the brake, on your gas, and revved it up, it would run. As soon as you try to let it idle, it just died. And I was hearing this noise, I think, is what I finally got to me. I was like, when it was running, I had somebody else run it, and I was hearing this noise, and I was kind of like putting my hands down around all the air intake stuff, and I found that there was a big air intake leak right near that one injector. Pulled the injectors out, and yeah, there was a seal missing. Okay, and that fixed it. As soon as I put all new seals on the injectors, put it back together, and bam, it started working. So there you go. Yeah, you can use WD-40 to check for vacuum leaks. You can also use some carburetor, like starting fluid, and that kind of stuff. And but I would definitely check for vacuum leaks, because I mean, all that vacuum lines on there are suspect at this point. They're getting cracked up and messed up and all that stuff. So that is a big possibility. All right, guys. So we've been on here for 48 minutes. We've had some good interaction things. We've got 3 people here watching right now, so not a whole lot, but probably a lot of people will watch this later after we're all said and done. And so I just want to say, happy holidays to you guys. Again, if you call me and I don't pick up right away, or I don't pick up at all, just leave a message. I'll call you back. Okay? And if I don't see you guys before Christmas, then Merry Christmas. But hopefully I'll make another live stream before Christmas. And again, if you guys are interested in these pillows, or that's a good way to say thanks to us, is to just buy some pillows. My wife will thank you. She's like, you gotta sell these pillows because they take up too much space. Okay, I mean, I'd like to keep some for myself, to be honest. But if you're interested in that, go on the website. They're on there. But I guess that's it, guys. For all you guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever. And, keep getting more miles per gallon with your vans. I'll try to make more videos as we go forward. We have a Patreon thing. If you want to help us with that, you can go on there and continue. We have 3 faithful Patreon members right now: Chris Snyder, Eric Schneider, and Steve Benici, who's in Australia. And so, please like, share, subscribe, guys. And we'll see you guys on the next video. I'll try to make another one maybe next Friday. And if you have any questions and stuff, save them up, and we'll talk about it then. Alright, guys, have a great weekend, and we will see you on the next video.